The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. The first chart that I posted in here is the relationship of crude oil to the Canadian dollar. And it has just absolutely gone wacko the opposite way. Usually there's a 70% correlation, and that certainly didn't happen this time. We've had a pretty wild range in the Canadian dollar as it has been straight up. However, the crude oil's been up and down. It's moved a dollar up, a dollar down, so it's jumping around quite a bit also as we get the reports come out. But if we take a look at this Canadian dollar on a little bit longer time frame, and this is one of the things we did the other day because it had such a nice pattern. As you can see here, all week long, we have been down near this 130.10 level, which was the 61% retracement. We actually hit it 4 times. And of course, now we've gone all the way up, and we're trading above the 61% retracement on the upside now at the 3160 level, which tells us that we should be going higher. Now, if the correlation remains the same, and we talked about it earlier in the week, that it's about a 75% correlation between the Canadian dollar and the crude oil, that you should be able to, get a move of some to the downside is basically, what it looks like. So keep in mind that that's what, what's happening, it seems, in the Canadian dollar today. This has been a really a big move. We've been watching this for the last couple of days, and it certainly, finally took off, going to the upside. We've had some pretty good movement in a few things this morning that we've been watching very, very closely. As you recall, earlier in the week, we were looking at the Treasury bonds because they were making a really nice Gartley pattern, and now we're back down again into that 72 area, which is very, very important because, as our friend Mr. Z pointed out in the room this morning, that 72 level happens to be a beautiful 61% retracement off of the last swings that we've had. And so you've got more or less, not more or less, but you do have, a triple bottom, forming at that time. So that should be some pretty good support at 172 in the Treasury bonds. That I'm looking for the chart, and I just sent it and I can't find it, but I will find it, but not to worry, we will get it. Okay, let's move on here. We'll just put we wanted to cover the euro here because it's quite important. We've been watching this for quite some time. As you noticed, we hit that 61% retracement the other day, right up on the money at 112 and change. That was our third higher high. Let's try it again. Our third lower high. Both of them were exactly 61% retracements to the tick, and now we're heading down. We're back below the 111 area again, and of course, if we go below 109, then we're looking at something, really, really bad, and that would be something that would make it quite a bit lower, no matter what. So we will watch that also. One other one that we've been watching really closely in the currency is the British pound, because we had the news this week on the Bank of England, and we were looking for the market to have some pretty, wild ranges. We had a Gartley pattern form on August the 3rd, and here we are 2 days later, and we are heading down, approaching the 1.27 level, which is the lower end of the range that we were looking at. Right now, we're trading at around the 130.80 level, and that's a very important level, as you can see here, that we've hit it 3 times. We hit it on July 19th, we hit it on July 26th, and so should we go below that, that 1.27 expansion would take you right down to the 129.60. So we'll watch that also. I had a question about gold this morning. Basically gold's had a pretty good move to the downside from that high up around 1370 area. But the key was the silver and the platinum were far, far weaker than the gold. And so that was an indication that there was not a lot of buying in precious metals, at least in the way I looked at it. As you recall, we looked at this chart on the on platinum early last week, and as you can see, we did hit the exact number at 1183 per ounce in platinum. That was a perfect 78% retracement of the high that we made back in January of 2015, and it was also a 1.618 expansion of the move from May through August the 2nd. So we'll see how this ends up, but right now it certainly seems to have a little bit of a bearish bias. Silver in particularly, was not able to rally very much. It could only get to the 78% retracement up at that 2070 level. And we've already broken $1 an ounce, which is $5,000 in a matter of 2 days. So, silver is under some pressure. And as we mentioned, we were watching the open interest in silver. And even though the open interest was still going higher, it was going higher at a rapidly decreasing rate. I mean, there were a lot of people moving in that direction, but very, very slowly. That brings back a great memory from my days at Drexel. Every morning, Ty Andrews, who was an actor that played in Mr. Roberts and The Sound of Music and a whole bunch of stuff. He was one of Jack Lemmon's best friend, and Walter Matthau. But he would come into my office, and they had a series at that time called the Mod Squad. And all the time before he went on location, he would come in the morning, just about every day, and have coffee and smoke his cigar. And everybody would come in and visit with him because he was so friendly. And one of his really good friends was, of course, Kirk Kerkorian, and he would come in maybe 2 or 3 times a year. But one day I was going over a situation with a client, and we had a position on, and it was losing, but it was almost break even. Because I kept trying to tell the guy, look, stay with it for a little longer. Stay with it for a little longer. And Tig was on the other side of the desk, and he picked a piece of paper up and he set it down and he wrote SLBS. And I put the phone down and I said, what the hell is this? And he said, tell him it's still losing, but slowly. And I kept that piece of paper all these years, and every once in a while I think of it. And I was just describing what the open interest was doing. It was the same situation. So anyway, that's what history lessons will tell us. But the open interest is not increasing rapidly, considering that we did go up into new high grounds. There were not a lot of new buyers. There were some, but not many. And it is, dropping quite a bit. And as we sell off now, you'll start to see people start to exit their positions, but not probably at these levels. It'll probably be at lower levels. That's the key, to keep in mind what we're watching here. Okay, we'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Larry takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I've posted the chart for the Treasury bonds showing the three higher bottoms. That's basically a 1-3-5 pattern, where you have three higher bottoms. They both come in perfectly. You see at the Fibonacci numbers, especially the 61% retracement that comes in at 72 even. So that's going to be a very interesting one to to really watch, because it's spot on, where it should be looking at it. So anyway, we'll just watch that very, very closely, because it should move on. The other one you need to really watch, and John Logan really did a good job, I think, of identifying. In fact, we ought to give him a gold star along with the Academy Award that he already holds for hitting the exact low in that gold market today at 1347. Folks, if you want some good information, TFNN is a pretty good place to look at it. Last week, our fearless leader, Tom O'Brien, was talking about the New York Stock Exchange Index with a top of 10,819, and the tie on that index that week was 10,811. So that was in 1/10,000th of the exact number. And with Logan's number today in the gold at 1347, that was pretty much on. But what John was talking about, his profiles that he was looking at for his TAS program, he was watching this area of 2169 for the E-mini S&P, and as we know that the 61% retracement came in at 2163. We backed off about 8 points from there, and now we are faced with the 2169 almost right before we're going to open here this morning in about 10 minutes. So watch that very, very closely. Now, we all know that the first half hour or so is amateur hour, but 2169 is going to be a pretty tough number to go blasting through. As we know, sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong, but you want to keep a very, very close eye on that. That's a very important number today, because I don't believe all the numbers that come out. I mean, we can understand some of the things that the government tells us might not be correct on some of these numbers and the way they count these things. One thing I couldn't remember, if they send $400 million, who counts that on the other end? that seems strange. The way the drug dealers do it is I saw a program on it once on 60 Minutes, is they weigh the money. They don't have time to count it. So that's probably what they do too. Who knows? And who knows? Anyway, watch 2169, folks. It's a really good spot to take a look at it. 5 points higher, you'd be flat out wrong. But keep an eye on it, because it does have some pretty good areas to watch at, as far as things that look, very, very interesting here. So this is what we'll be watching, and we'll see what happens from here. Okay, now the next thing we want to take a look at here is we had a request to take a look at one of the markets that we talk about with Rich Anderson all the time. Rich was on, of course, last Friday, and we were talking about what happened in the cattle market. And as you can see here, the other day when the market moved down, to that 105 level, where we had the big ABCD pattern and the 3 drive to a bottom pattern, the market on one day, you'll notice that it reversed. That's where that little red box is. I wanted to show you the reversal. In other words, it reversed all of the previous day's action. And that basically what that does is it traps the shorts. And when the market gaps up the next day, the trap door has been slammed. And as you'll see, the market went almost 8 cents in cattle, which is a little more than right around $4,000 in a matter of 6 trading days, stopping exactly at the 78% retracement of the high from May, which also happens to be the 61% retracement from the high from March. So you'll notice that the market, even though it opened higher, it closed lower, also setting up a potential for a reversal bar. The only way this would work now is for it to get below 114, and then your stop would be above 116, and your first objective would be 3 times what you're risking. So if you're risking 2 cents, you'd be looking to buy it back around 109. So that's what cattle looks like. We don't trade it too often, but when Rich comes on, we always keep an eye on it. But that's what's really very, very important to watch when you get these really really sharp reversal days. Those are the ones that is really really something. Someone's asked a question about false or fake gold that's out there, and believe me, folks, there is a lot of when you buy a bar, whether you buy a bar of silver or a bar of gold, that's not the way to buy silver and gold. The reason why is the assay cost is very, very high, and not only that, but it takes time to get it done. If you buy a gold coin or a silver coin, those are easily recognizable and very easy to test. I mean, they have a, they go by weight and also by what it sounds like when you touch it with another piece of silver. In other words, if you hit 2 pieces of silver together, it gives us a distinct ring. And if you put 2 pieces of gold together and tap them together, it gives a distinct ring. And people that are in the coin business, they know what that is. And so they don't get hoodwinked very often. But with a silver bar and a silver and a gold bar, that's really pretty tough. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. One of my favorite coins, if you can still get them, is the Austrian 100 krona. That's a beautiful coin. It's thinner, but it is absolutely a spectacular coin. But frankly, I don't think you can beat $10 Indians. Those are my favorite coins. I really think they're one of the most beautiful coins. The $20 St. Gaudens, which is the one with the Liberty, is really amazing. Also, but these are really beautiful coins. But long term, I really think we're going to go a lot higher in gold and silver. It's just a question. We need to get this, if we do have a correction here, out of the way, and that'll take several weeks, and then we will look at it again, down the future, for future long positions. But right now, I would just stand aside, keep your shekels in your pocket, and wait for a better buying opportunity is the way I would start to take a look at it. Now, I had a question here about the euro, because hold on one second. I did have the euro. There we go. But what we're going to look at here is the euro. After we came down and made that 382 retracement, you'll see that we stayed there for 24 hours. We went from the 111.10 area all the way up to the 111.60. We moved up 50 pips right to the exact 382, which was pre-report. And then, as you can see, once the report came out, the jobs report, sent the thing, spiraling, to the downside to the tune of almost 100 pips, which is a, considerable amount. And the price objective on this particular ABCD pattern that we're looking at here in the euro now comes in at the 110.70 level. And that's going to be very important. But nothing as important as that 109.60 level, folks, that we showed on the daily chart when we started the show. We go below 109.60, we're going to be looking at some real serious things happening in the market for the euro.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's nadex.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks. Just want to remind everybody that I will be off next week. I'll be back on August 15th, which marks the anniversary date back in 2007 when Tom O'Brien asked me to start doing a segment for TFNN. I'll never forget that day because Skype was out that day. It was a relatively new company, and we'd been using it quite a bit. And the Dow was down 350 points and the Russell was actually up on the day. And, Tom was screaming that it was probably a major buy, and it certainly was. And it started to go all the way up into the area of October of 2007 when it made its top on October the 7th. I wanted to tell one other story. Many over the years, I've had a lot of good friends that have passed away, but one of my dearest friends was Jay Crosp. Jay was he was the first computer programmer for Commodity Corporation way back in the 60s after he had gotten out of at school at SC, where he had got his master's degree. He had gone to school in Mississippi, where he went to to Mississippi, University of Mississippi, Ole Miss, where his college roommate was Trent Lott, who was the Speaker of the House under Reagan for many, many years. And I was able to meet him a couple of times, but Jay he worked with Amos Hostetler every day for almost 8 years, and they remained friends up until Amos passed away in 1975 in January in an auto accident down in Florida. But Jay had made a lot of money in the 72 bean market, and he had gotten married at that time, and he married a very wealthy girl, a wealthy family out of Los Angeles. And of course, he was just a little boy out of Mississippi that made a lot of money in commodities, and so the family was a little concerned that maybe he wasn't the quality that they wanted. Well, he certainly was, but he took $2 million and he bought Jimmy Stewart, the famous actor's ranch up in Elko, Nevada. It was the largest ranch in the state of Nevada, and it had all kinds of minerals and stuff on it. It had sulfur and nickel and other stuff. There was some gold and some silver also, and some oil. But he had bought this ranch, and he basically bought it because he loved to hunt, and it had some really nice hunting preserves on it. He had bear on it and deer, but the fun thing that they loved to hunt was the javelinas, the wild pigs. And one day he had some friends come in from the Cameroon that were buying coffee and cocoa for the government. And for some reason, they were government guests, and so they came out to hunt. And they came with 3 CIA people as guards, what do you call security. And they went to a couple of clubs there in Elko, which is a very famous area, and Susie's was one of the places. And these guys got totally smashed, these 2 or 3 CIA guys. And they told us, about the markets, and, they knew that what Jay had done. And he said, look, we can read from a satellite dish what the warning is on a package of cigarettes. He said, you don't think we can tell what a soybean crop or a coffee plant looks like from a distance? He said, of course we use the commodity markets to make extra money. We make it, and we don't have to report it. We don't have to go in front of Congress to get things for clandestine things. This guy was slush, too. So whether he was right or not, I don't know. But I always remembered that, and always, kind of say, wow, maybe some of the stuff that Tom Clancy writes about, maybe it's true. Who knows? Okay, let's get on to the markets. I know that's what you're interested in. Okay, let's take a look at the next one we want to watch. And this is from our good friend, Ricky the Rocket LaRusso, who was the head man for Morgan Stanley for many, many years. He's some of the best timing for Fibonacci stuff that I have ever seen. He and I happen to be the same age. He's also a very good friend with our friend Rich Anderson, and Rich was kind enough to send this on. This is the soybeans weekly chart. As you can see, the left side is the weekly, and as you can see on the right side is the daily. What we're watching here is we're watching a market that is making a potential for many cycles on the Fibonacci sequence coming in November beans. As you can see here, that we're over it probably either this week or next week. So we want to watch this very, very closely. And if we do that, and that's what we're going to do, is we're going to take a look here at our November bean chart just to see what we have, because we've got a very good pattern coming up here, folks. And we've been watching this for quite some time. As you can see, we had a 135 pattern on the bottom. That led to a $3 rally in beans, and now we pull back to a 78% retracement almost. We're within about 15 cents. of hitting that. So we want to watch this next week very, very closely. It's got a lot of things going for it, and that 78% retracement is certainly one of those things, but you have multiple A, B, C, D swings coming down here, and if you went into a smaller time frame, you would be able to see, and that's what we will do. Well, I won't be doing it next week, but maybe my replacement will be. We'll see what's going on. Mr. Z is talking about this also in the room here, that the 943 is a candidate for a major bottom, and we could certainly be near that level, without any trouble at all. Now, the little beeper on the old alarm clock is going off, telling us that we did hit the 2169 level. And that's the area where we want to be putting our little hats on to see if maybe this is where we want to be looking at the short side of the E-mini S&P. Now, crude oil has been up and down all over the map. It's finally going back to the correlation that we talked about earlier, where crude goes down, the Canadian goes up, and that's what's happening right now. The euro is continuing down. We broke another 30 pips since the market opened, or since we've started the break here, but we're getting down near that 110.20 area, which will be a 1.618 expansion number. But frankly, the way it's looking, it does look like it wants to go a little bit lower. Remember, the first half hour of the market is amateur hour. It's best to wait till that first half hour is out of the way. If you're an intelligent risk speculator and you know how to handle risk, you can trade in that first hour, but you've got to be able to protect yourself, as you should all the time, to keep your capital in play. Because if you don't use a stop, you are telling the market that I know more than you do. And believe me, men are often wrong. Markets are never wrong. So that was the old quote from our good friend Roy Longstreet, who was without doubt one of the greatest soybean traders of all time, and his son Bill was also an adept trader. They happen to be very good friends with Eli Tellis. Eli Tellis was the cotton trader out of Memphis, Tennessee, and if you've ever seen the movie The Trader with Paul Tudor Jones, that was the gentleman that he talked about in Memphis was Eli Tellis. Eli's son, Eli Jr., is also a cotton trader. He happens to be a friend of mine out of New York City, and he is also a very adept trader, but he only trades cotton, cocoa, and sugar. 877-927-6648.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
It's 2016 and TFNN has a brand new programming lineup to kick things off. Starting January 4th, swim lessons by Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade will be airing 5 days a week at noon Eastern Time. Join hosts Scott Connor, Kevin Hinks, and Cindy Faber as they host their daily options program live at noon 5 days a week with no commercials for the entire hour. Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark will be moving their program, Living a Primal Lifestyle, to twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Wake up with Nico and Paige and start your day off right.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour by Nadex will now be live Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Start and end the week with the three hosts, Tom O'Brien, Tommy O'Brien, and Daryl Martin, as they break down the world of trading binary options and spreads. For all the details on the new 2016 programming lineup, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, sponsored by Nadex. Up next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we're going to take a look at copper for our good friend Danny out of Atlanta, Georgia, right off of Peachtree Boulevard, one of the most beautiful streets in all of the USA. Anyway, we can see here that copper has been in a downtrend for quite some time. We did have a beautiful Gartley pattern several weeks ago that Mr. Z in the room pointed out, and that, you know, had a huge profit for those of you that follow Mr. Z, and there's quite a few people that do. But what we've done now is, you see, we're making a smaller ABCD pattern coming down to this level that we're watching very, very closely, which will be about 5 cents lower than where we are, you know, in the copper market as we look at it. The metals are under some pretty good pressure today. You know, we've got gold down, you know, about $20, actually a little more than $20, and silver's down more than you know, 60 cents an ounce. So those are things that telling us that we're probably getting ready to have a pretty good buying opportunity in gold and silver out in a week or so. But we'll have to just wait and see if that's going to you know, come to fruition a little bit later. Okay, now we've broken down below that 130.80 level in the British pound that we talked about. That sets up that next level that we've talked about all along, which comes in around the 129.50 level. But this is a Friday, folks, and frankly, there's no reason in the world to put on a new position in a currency because if that support fails, you're going to be looking at something, you know, really, really dramatic to the downside. So, you know, just keep in mind that that's also the possibility that you have, you know, moving in your favor here. So watch it very, very closely. That's the key, at least from my view of watching this. Now we're getting close in the bonds here. We're getting near the old level here of the to see, right? Thank you very much, Marshall. You're absolutely correct. It was absolutely correct. We Marshall in the room has some information that he shares with us a lot, and it certainly, you know, turned out to be correct in the British pound once again. Now, regarding the what we're looking at here in the bonds, we have that key support at 172 level, and folks, if it fails, then you're looking at some real serious stuff here, and you don't want to get involved with that if you get into a spot where you're going to be looking at some really, really serious things moving against you, and you don't want to be looking at. Now we're approaching, we're within, oh, we just hit it. We just hit a major level here in the NASDAQ at this 4,800 level. Excuse me, 4780, and that completes the ABCD pattern that we talked about I think it was 2 days ago when the market was backing off a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this NASDAQ as we get to this level and whether we're going to go blasting through it. That's the $64 question here, and we'll be able to see that. Okay, let's get back to the grains here a little bit. We've had another question about that. I want you to see here. This happens to be the. This is not beans or anything like that, but this is the contract for wheat, which has been very good to us, and you'll see that that's pretty much what we're looking at, and we'll be watching this very. See what's going to happen with this. Anyway, this is the September wheat. As you can see here, we got down to 403. It's held that level so far, but not by very much. The best time to do this, I would guess, it would be to wait until earlier. But remember, on Wednesday we had a beautiful buy signal at that first low, and excuse me, the second low, which yielded well over $700 profit. 400 if you were really good, then you'll be able to watch it. We've had a question from Mike out of Toronto, Canada, and what was the information that we got from our good friend Norm Winsky from AstroTrend yesterday, and that was that he's looking for a major turn here between now and Monday in a whole lot of things. I mean, if you remember, well, I guess no, you don't remember because you're asking that question. But basically what we're watching here is that on the 5th through the 8th, are a lot of different things occurring that Norm thought would be very, very close to trend changes in some of these things. So this is the key to to watch what watch what the market is doing. And so his timing has been pretty good, as you know. As a matter of fact, pretty good would be the understatement of the year. But we also had some information, with the same thing that Shane Smolian from wolftrader.net was talking about. And also our good friend Bill Meridian from Cycles Research, he thought that the top was going to be in July. And so far, the high in the Dow Jones has been at the July 15th level. Remember, we've had the situation in the market for the Dow Jones has been down 7 out of 8 days. And if you look at the NASDAQ, it's like on a different planet. So there's different markets, and we've been saying that all the time. When you're looking at the NASDAQ, you're not looking at the stock market. You're looking at about 25 of the 100 stocks in the NASDAQ 100 that are making the thing do what it's doing. And you have to look at them separately. Let me just bring this chart up here so you can see this. This is the NASDAQ over the last 4 days when we've been going down in the Dow. You'll see that NASDAQ has made a 61% retracement like we did on August the 2nd. That was when we had the new moon, and that was a 61% retracement, and we've had nothing but higher bottoms all along, and the ABCD completes at 4780, and the high today so far is 4799. So whether that's going to be 4779. So whether that's going to be it or not, I don't know. But that's an ABCD pattern. It's a 1.27 expansion, and you're doing it at the same time when we're making a 78% retracement, on the rest of the markets to look at. So I am getting a hold on one second. I've got my beepers are going off on so many things that I have to be able to turn them off here. It's going to make me go. We just hit the 4780 level now in the NASDAQ, so that's what the last beeper sound was. And we were looking at this S&P around 2169.50 to 2170. We're at 2172 now. If we get above 2175, we'll probably have to say that this is probably not going to be a good trade. But this is we got 10 minutes to finish up amateur hour, and we'll see how that goes. But watch that one very, very closely. We've now broken almost $1 a barrel in crude oil to the downside. So it's having some pretty wild action. We've made new lows in gold down around this 1347 level. And keep a close eye on that, because if that doesn't hold, as John Logan pointed out, if that defensive mechanism doesn't hold at 1347, not only that, but that trade made $1,000 because it went from 1347 all the way up to 1357, and then of course, sold off as more people came into came in to sell. So we'll watch that one also. Very critical day, as jobs report day is. I mean, they make up these numbers. I'm sure they get together on Wednesday or Thursday and play poker and decide what these numbers are going to be.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to the Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we're about ready to finish up the first hour of trading here at the New York Stock Exchange after the job reports. We've got the Dow up quite a bit, and we've got the S&P up quite a bit, and we got the NASDAQ up in the nosebleed area. We did get to that level of 47.80. Our high has been 47.83 so far, so we want to keep a close eye on that one, of course. Someone's asked a question about the crude oil because we did have a pretty good move here off the bottom. It did rally just about $2 a barrel. And that would tell us, in fact, it did almost exactly $2 a barrel. So you would be watching if you're going to be want to enter the long side of crude oil. You try to like to enter on a retracement. And if we go to the low that we made, back here at 39 and change, we went almost exactly. Oh wow, it was almost $3. I didn't realize it had got that high. It went $3 higher, so you'd watch for retracement to come back. That would be about $1 a barrel lower than where we are right now. Right around 40.35 would be the 61% retracement of this move. So if you're interested in getting along the oil, that's the area where I would think you would want to take a very close look at it, because as we know, the 61% ratio comes up, quite a bit, and we'll see what's going to be happening there. So anyway, that's what we're watching. The S&P, we're 3.5 points higher than where I thought it was going to stop. So if we get it much above that 2175, 2176 level, I would assume we're probably going to get higher. But we've got amateur hour almost out of the way here in the next 4 or 5 minutes, and that's really the best time, to really start watching it, because people that come in and buy after these reports, they're not rewarded very often. They sometimes are, but not often. But we'll let to see how the trading gods finish it up for the day. As I mentioned, I'll be gone next week, so I want to wish everybody good trading. I'm sure they'll have some pretty good replacements coming in to give us some ideas and some other trades. But the people in the TFNN den and the TFNN family give some great info. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.